Welcome to this video. In this video I'm gonna walk you through the programming assignment 4, which is part of I mean the last assignment for the introduction to data science in Python. So as you guys can see here, I have got 80 out of 100 points because I have attended only 4 questions out of 5. I can still try the 5th one, so as of now I have tried only 4 of them. So as you can see here below, for demonstration and making this video, I just removed all my answers from the assignment and resubmitted it. And as you can see, my latest submission got 0 score because I removed all my answers. But as you can see down here, for this attempt I got 20, 40, 60, and it is increasing. It is because I personally want to, when I'm doing my assignments, which is having multiple questions, after solving each questions I hit submit on the assignment, so that I come back here to check the feedback immediately after submitting that question to check whether my answer is correct or not. If my answer is not correct, I just redo it. I bring changes into my answer and then resubmit it. And then if it gets a good grade like this one, so I just move to the next question. Okay, so let's go to the assignment. So as you guys have read these instructions and all these things, we are dealing with 4 datasets, 5 datasets actually in this assignment. So there are 4 questions, totally 5 questions, but 4 of them are similar to each other. 4 of them, if you do the first one, you can do, all the first 4 are the same. So I'm gonna download all these datasets from here, and we'll do them locally on my own machine. So I have already downloaded these datasets. There are 5 datasets, 4 of which are CSV and 1 is HTML. So for the first question, as you can see, say that for this question, calculate the win-loss ratios correlation with the population of each city. So the data should be like this NHL team, and actually this is the data set, and using only the 2018 data. So let's go. Actually I have done, as you can see here, this is my local host. I'm doing it first on my local machine, and then after completing the first one I upload it back to the Coursera, this here, and hit submit. And because I have more flexibility doing it on my local computer. So as you can see, for the first question I have divided all the instructions into 14 steps in total. This way everything is so clear, and we know what we're doing. So we will go step by step, but before going through these steps, let's go first see the data. The first one that we are dealing with is NHL and the cities data. The cities data, it comes from this Wikipedia HTML file, and the NHL coming from the nhl.csv. Every time I'm dealing with this kind of datasets, I first go to learn about those datasets. So I open this with Excel. As you can see here, just familiarize yourself with the columns and the rows and what kind of data it has. So here it is 2018. As if you filter this, you will have more data than 2018. So here from 2014 up to 2018, but on the instructions it has told us that just get the 2018 data. So also, as per the instructions, as you can see here, like this here, calculate the win-loss ratios correlation with the population of the city. The population of the city comes from the city data frame or from this Wikipedia. Also the win-loss ratio, and also the team names and everything else comes from this. They come from the other. So eventually, in the middle of this program, we need to we need to merge, or we need to join these two data frames together. So actually, if we go back here in this NHL data, if you see, there are a lot of columns, but in here we're only dealing with 1, 2, 3 columns. The one is the team names, the other one is the win, the total, how many times this team has won and how many times this team has lost. So we need only these 3 columns. We need to get rid of all the other columns just to focus only on those 3 columns. So let's do that. Here I have referenced this to the file that is located on my local machine, and so the first step says that filter the data just to get the 2018 data. Okay, so the first step, we are gonna filter the data just to get the 2018 data. So the year equals to 2018. So in this step 1, let's filter the data frame just to get the 2018 data. Yeah, and let's yeah, that is 2018 data. So here in step 2 it says just discard unnecessary column on NHLDF. So NHLDF, let's so we only need the team column, win column, and loss column. So actually, let's every time I'm bringing changes to the datasets, I print everything to Excel file to see closely what's going on. Excel. So I name it. I name this NHL.xlsx. Hit return to ignore the rest of the thing. All right. So let's go and see the changes that we brought. It is here. So we got only the 3 columns. This is the team name, win and loss, and the data only belongs to 2018 data. So just close it and let's go to the next step. So what the next step says, the next, clean the team names in an HLDF, some team names having a star at the end. Let me open this back to see. As you can see, guys, here at the end of each team name, some of the team names having a star at the end, we need to remove it because later on we're gonna match these team names with the cities data frame. If you do not remove this, it will not match. So let's go do that. So actually here for removing those stars, I'm gonna write a function. Just you can do that with list comprehension as well, but here just for clarity and understanding, I have I'm gonna define a function to do that for us. So I'm gonna call this function remove star, which will receive the team names and it will check if the team names having those star, and it will here that is the regular expression that will search for the star, and everything which is before the star it will get it and will discard the star itself. And if the team names don't have the star, so we just return the team name itself. So as here apply, and I'm gonna pass these functions over there. And so before executing this, let me print it to the Excel file again to see whether we have done the job or not. NHL.xlsx and return. Let's go see. Okay, this is the new file that we just created, and hopefully we have removed the star from the end of the team names. Okay, good. Let's move to the next step. So the step 4 says, step 4, clear the team names in cities data frame, some team having this square brackets in them. So let's before doing that, let's see what cities data frame has. Again, I'm gonna print it out into Excel. I'm gonna call this city.xlsx and return. Okay, here city. Yeah. So here we have the NHL. We have different columns here: NBA, different teams, different sports. This is the population, and this is the metropolitan area or the city that each team belongs to, these cities. So in this step we are dealing with these NHL names, as you can see here, like sharks inside these square brackets, because this data is coming from the Wikipedia, and this is the node, the link to this team that they have written like this. So we need to clean them. So for this question 1, we only need NHL column, population column, and metropolitan area. We don't need this. We will remove that, or we will just leave as it is. So for now, we need to clean these square brackets. So the regular expression that we will write is just search for this opening square brackets and get everything which is before that, like this one. It will search for this first square bracket, and everything which is before that we need to get that. It is similar to that, removing the store from this function. We can do this, actually we can do this with list comprehension as well, but that will be a little more complicated and not readable. So let's copy paste this one and just replace this, and instead of store it will search for just opening square brackets, and here instead of this store we will search for this opening the square brackets. Do not forget to escape this one. So it will say that search for this opening square bracket and everything, every word character and every space which is before this, and just get it. And if the teams do not have square brackets in them, just return the team name. Okay, so here also instead of the star we will call this bracket. Alright, so let's print it out. Actually here it is cities. Yeah, cities data frame of NHL. The name of the column is NHL. This is cities, column name is NHL. Just to make sure, let's go here, city, yeah, here, this is the column name, NHL. Alright, cities of NHL not apply. Okay, so let's print it back to Excel to see what we have done. City.xlsx, return. Okay, here we have removed those square brackets from the thing from here. Okay, good, so far so good. Let's go ahead. Actually, let's do as part of this step, let's just exclude these 3 columns, because we should just focus on these other 3 required columns for this question. Okay, before going to the step 5, let's as part of step 4.1, let's discard the unnecessary columns. All right, so cities equals to cities of what was the name of these columns? Let me check it out. We can do that here, just cities columns. Okay, run it. Okay, here these are the column names. Here, okay. There is one extra thing, population, and there is one more column which is NHL. Okay, and that's it. Let's print it out. Cities, not to Excel. This time I call it cities, and oops, return. Alright, let's go here, remove this one, and cities. Okay, so we got the three columns here. Don't worry about this one, it prints the index also. We can exclude that, but it's okay, let it be as it is. So let's go to the next step. What step 5 says? In an HLDF, team names are mixed with the city names. Separate them in order to get win-loss from the city after joining them with the city's DF. Extract team names and put them in a new column, which is team only. Okay, so let's open that NHLDF. This is the NHL data frame. You can actually output the content of this one on Jupyter Notebook itself, but for me this Excel is better to explore the data. So it says that the team names and also the team name and the city names, they are mixed. We need to separate them. See here, this is the city name and this is the team name. This is the city name and this one is the team name. We need to create another column here like team only. That's the name of the team without the city. We need to extract this and put it here, and the same for all. So this is for this step. So let's do that. Let's close this city as well. Okay, so for this one I'm gonna use the split function to split the team names and the city names in grabbing only the city names from here. Actually this one, it will not grab only the city name, it will grab the last word. It will split by a space and will grab the last word out of it. So it will put it into team name only. So here if we just look at the thing, if we look at the data sets, I'm calling it NHL XLSX. Okay, alright, let's go here, NHL. Here we have created our new column and it has done the job for now. But like here, lightning, bronze. But in some areas, if you notice here, I'm gonna highlight this so you guys can see it has got only wings, but actually the name of the full team is red wings, not only wings. So this is one of the faults of this approach. You may also go back and write some other approach, like here also. Then the full team name is Blue Jackets, but it has got only the jacket. It works only for the team names which is single word, but not for the team names which is two worded, like this one. Also like let's find another one like this one, Golden Knight, same thing. So for these things, I'm gonna do this manually. I'm gonna rename it manually, like how many teams, 1 2 3, and there might be some more. Yeah, here Maple Leaf here. So yeah, so in order to do this manually, I need to locate this one on my data frame and replace it with Maple Leaf with the correct name, and the same thing with the others. So let me copy this over to the notebook Jupyter notebook. Yeah, there were 4. The good thing that we're having the index values. I mean this one. If I have this one, we can easily rename this with the full name. So for just now, I'm gonna remove this one. Actually, you don't need to do all this. You may have an easier way to do, but let me grab the full name as well, like this one. Let's bring it over to here, which is part of step point 1. Says that the statement above will not work for those team names who have more than one word in that one. So we need to replace them with a full name here. This is just for reference, so I don't need it. So as I have the index of those teams and I have the column, I can easily rename these leaves with maple leaf, wings with red wings. So let's go to that. Here that this maple leaf is located on the index 3, so I'm gonna replace that one, and the same thing with the other 3. Alright, so let's go again and print it out and see whether we have done it. To Excel, NHL XLSX. Alright, see if oh yeah, we have error. What is this about? Permission denied, because we have because we want to override this one. Okay, now it's okay. Let's go and see NHL. Now the teams which are having the 2 words should be good, like this one: Red Wings, Maple Leaf, Blue Jacket, and Golden Knights. Okay, so let's move to the next step. What is the next step saying? Alright, I'm gonna remove this one and also this one. Let's rename cities column in more readable format. Alright, okay, to match NHL. Okay, so if you open this cities, as you can see, this column name, it is very difficult to access because it contains those dates and also square brackets and everything. So also this NHL, actually this NHL is the team name. So let's go ahead and remove those, not removing but actually renaming. It is part of 6. Let's actually cities, let's get the column names first, and okay, here are the column names, so not the object. Just come on now. Alright, let's go here and instead of returning it, let's go rename it. Cities dot rename. Come on, rename columns. I'm gonna have a dictionary here, not this one. So instead of this is actually the city name, we need to change this into city and population into the city, and NHL is actually the name of team. To match it with the NHL data frame, we need to rename it, and also in place is equal to true. Alright, so let's now return the column names. City, team only. Actually, that is not good. City, this is population. I'm kind of population. Okay. Yeah, now it's good. We're moving to step 7. Let's remove unnecessary rows with division word in them. So here, if you go here, there are some unnecessary rows here. You can see, if I sort this out, we have 4 unnecessary rows here. Let's remove them. The good thing, you might also delete them by this index, but actually what if there are a lot of data, and getting the index for a lot of data is not that much efficient. So the one thing which is common among these rows is the division word in them. So we take this into consideration and delete them. We will say that delete every row which has division word in them, because the other rows we know that there is no division, like especially this column, this win column no way can contain the division word in it. So let's go ahead and do that. So here I'll say that exclude all the rows which contains the word division. So it will delete all of them. Let's just verify that, just to look into that, to Excel file, NHL XLSX, XLSX. It should have given the same error because we have this open. Let's see now. Yeah, okay. Now the rows are also clean. But here actually I noticed something else. If you open, let me open the cities. In cities data frame, if you can see guys here, this one, only this one is actually, only this one is three teams: Rangers, Highlanders and Devils. Same thing with this one, this is 2. They have grouped them into 2. And what else? Yeah, I think only those 2. Yeah, only those 2 teams. Why? Because this Los Angeles City, it has 2 teams. One is Kings and the other is Ducks. That's why they have grouped them into 1. Same thing with New York City. New York City has 3 teams: Rangers, Islanders and Devils. So what we need to do is to we need to do the same, we need to have the same thing in NHL data frame here. Like where is New York? Here, New York Islanders, Rangers and Devils, they need to be all together here. So instead of this Islanders, also we need to have 3 Islanders, Rangers and Devils instead of this also. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna do that manually, but there might be some other approach for doing that. So let's go to our data frame here. Let me do that as part of this because it is similar to this one. Okay, I'm gonna call this step 5.2. Okay, so I have got the location, the index name and also the team names from the Excel file that I just opened it. You can also do that, or you can get them from the output of this data frame on the Jupyter notebook without using that thing. So we have done this part, and let's move to the next step, which is step 8. Change the data types of win and loss from string to float. Actually, because we're getting the ratio of this, we need to change it to float because that operation of course will not work. Alright, so you can access the column names by this dot operator also with square brackets. Okay, so this is done. Step 9 says, since there are 4 teams with the same name, let's group them and get their average and loss values. Alright, actually this was part of the instructions. If you go here, let me close this one to get the fresh data. Yeah, here let me print it out again. NHL df to ec. Come on now. NHL XLSX, also cities. and return. Yes. So as you see, let me sort this out. And the instructions, it has told that those cities with more than one team, you need to get their average win and loss. So we need to get the average of this one, these three, also the kings and jacks. We need to get their average, group them into the same thing, and get their average. All right, so let's go into that. Where is it? Here, step 9. Let me comment this out, maybe we'll need it again. Okay, so let's group them. I'm grouping it by team name, also getting the win and loss average of that. Okay, so in step 10 it says reset index after grouping. Okay, so let me return this data frame to clarify that what it means. If there is a warning, but this warning is just because that grouping style, this kind of thing will not be supported in the next version. That's why it gives warning. So we just ignore that warning. So as you know, after grouping, the first column, it becomes the index. Whatever we are grouping by, that column becomes the index. We need to reset it, or we can actually here group by here, I think index, no, index, I think here or somewhere. We can actually, I don't remember what it was, but here I'm gonna NHLF dot reset index, reset index and place equals true. Alright, now if we return this data frame, now it is part of this column. I just reset this index back as a column just because we want to join it with the cities table. If we just leave it as the index, it will not join. It says that there is no common column between them, that's why. So that is the reason. Step 11, merge the two data frame to get the required column from both data frame. All right, so here let's go merge this one, merge the cities and NHL data frame. I'm gonna do that inner join, only the I'm getting the rows which are matching on the team only columns. So let's return this merge def, see what it looks like here. This team win loss, it comes from the NHL, and the city and population comes from the cities data frame. Okay, so let's go ahead to the next step. It says change the data type of win and loss from string to float and merged. Okay, so if you return this merged data frame data types, you will see here the win loss that is already in float, so there is no need to redo that. In case it is a string values, you can change it to because we're calculating the the win loss. So this one is done. I'm gonna write it done. Okay, so let's define another column. We'll create another column by the name of win loss ratio. So the formula is already given on the instructions. Win, the win value divided by total number of win plus this loss. All right, so let's go ahead and again just look at tab merge df. Here it is the ratio 58%, 45%, and etc. for all the teams. All right, so before going further, before going to the final steps, as you can see guys, here it says that there should be 28 teams. So let's go ahead to check this merged data frame is actually 28, it has 28 values or not. If it doesn't have, we are in trouble. Yes, we are having exactly 28 teams dealing with. Okay, so we're going to the final steps, or the final step actually. So let's go ahead and replace those square brackets with the population data. I have changed it to numeric values, and the same thing with the win loss. And this is actually, I have changed it to the numeric, and let's see what we get. Okay, so here we have got two values here, but we need only one value out of here. If you click here and press shift tab over here to bring the tab, this function or this method returns two values. One is it returns person, the first value is person correlation coefficient that we are now interested in, and the other one is the p-value. So we need to get the first value only. So to get that, we need here close this one, and here is our answer. So that is the answer. Let's go and copy everything and take it to Coursera. Let me reopen this assignment. All right, so I have copied everything. I'm gonna replace it with this one. The only changes that I should bring here, instead of this one, I need to say asset. Was it assets? Yeah, it is assets. Assets. Okay, so before running or submitting this one, let's go once again, check out here, check out the score. It is 0 out of 100. Let's go ahead first, run this to make sure there is no error. Again, we're returning that value, so the auto grader will check the correct answer with this one. If it matches, it will grade us 20. If not, if it didn't match the correct answer, we need to redo it. So come back here. Yes, your submission is being graded, so let's wait and see what's gonna happen. Alright, as you see guys, that is 20 out of 100. Congratulations, our answer is correct now. So the same procedure we're going to do with other teams, NBA, and question 2 through 4. We are gonna do that. So as you guys saw, the first question we submitted, and I just submitted that, and we got 20 out of 100. So let's go ahead and do the second one. But in the second one, I'll not go through the details of that. And all the same procedures of the first question is can be applied on the second question as well. So this is the question number 2. So I will do that locally to see whether it works or not, and then I copy that back to Coursera platform, and I submit that, and let's see how much score we get. So the same as question first, I divided this into different steps. Here we have 10 steps. There are only slight differences between the question number 1 and number 2, and those slight differences are something like the data cleaning and stuff. So let's go ahead and start doing this. So the first step is clear. We want to filter this data to get the 2018 data. So the second question, not the second question, the second step, we are removing that star from the end of the team names. As you remember, here in question 1 we had written function. We had written function to achieve this, but here I have done ternary operation and also the list comprehension, which is shorter and cleaner and neater. The function is readable, but this one is shorter and cleaner. So the same goes with the second step, and the same thing. But here I remove this kind of braces from the team names. All right, and of course that is also similar to this one, but here we are removing this braces, not braces, square brackets. Okay, so in third step, just we have some unnecessary columns to get rid of. Okay, so step 4, we are separating or extracting the team names from the team names and city names, because the city name and team names are together. We are extracting the team names only. So that is how it is done. And the next step, actually, so as you remember from the first question, this approach will not work for the team names which has team names who have 2 words. So we need to manually replace these guys, or these teams actually. All right, and also there are some manual data cleaning, so removing or cleaning this data. And in step 5 we say that let's rename cities columns to, because it is kind of long and not readable, so we can leave it as it is, but it is better to make it more readable. All right, here in step 6 we have some unnecessary rows, like a division, which we should get rid of that one. And step 7, change the data types, of course, because we are doing some math operation on them. All right, change it from the string to float, because by default they are most often they are in string format. So here, since there are 4 teams with the same name, we need to group them and getting the average win and loss, as you have read this in the instructions. So this is done by grouping and getting the mean or the average of those win and loss. So in step 8, which is part of this step 8.1, okay, so for the because we have grouped that one, in grouping, this team only will be set to index. If we reset the index, this will be converted back to columns. All right, and after resetting that, we are merging this NBA data frame with the cities data frame to get the common columns, the required columns. This is actually kind of join. So of course here also we are changing the data type of win and loss in the merge column. Actually you don't need to do it if it is already in float, but here as I checked it was in float, so I changed it. And step 10, we're doing that math operation to get the ratio. Okay, so let's put those values here. I'm changing this to numeric just in case if it is not numeric, so I'm forcing it to change it to numeric. So that's it. All right, so the one of the last step, which you remember here, we should return the last value. So let's run this. We're getting a warning, which is not that important. This is about this group by. It says this kind of format is no longer available in the next version, so as long as it works right now, we don't care about it. So we return the function return this value minus. So here if we come back to this question, we say that the win-loss ratio correlation with the population has negative correlation. It has negative 17%, this one. Alright, so let's copy everything and take it to Coursera platform. Question number 2. Yeah, here it is blank right now. Let's paste everything here. With the only changes that instead of this dataset we have here assets. Let's run this to make sure there is no error and we are getting the same. Yeah, here we are getting negative. Alright, let's hit submit and wait until we get our grade. Okay, submission. Yeah, it says that my submission is being graded right now. Right now I have 20 out of 100. So let's see if we get the score for the second question or not. Yeah, as you can see here, we got to 20 more for the second question. That's it for the second question, and let's go back to do the third and fourth one. Okay, so here in question 3, let's find out the correlation between win-loss ratio and the population of the city. Okay, so as these are all repeated now, I'm just typing and you follow along with this. You can pause the video and follow these things. Okay, so there is nothing new here. Instead of that function, again I write the list comprehension and also the ternary operator. Okay, so here there are some manual. These are manual. If you guys could find out the solution programmatically, so you can comment out. So at the time I couldn't find any solution. Actually, I didn't spend any more time on that. I'm thinking about how to. All right, so the renaming these columns just for easiness to access them easily, changing the data types. I think the data type of this win and loss, they're already in float. I didn't check it. I'm just for precautions, I just change it. Okay, grouping them and getting their average. And after grouping, there is an option over here. Whenever you group, you tell this that do not set this team only as the index. But right now I forgot that. If you do remember, please comment it. So right now when I group this one, the team only, instead of becoming the column, it becomes the index of this group I. That's why I'm resetting here to change it back this into column. And after resetting that, we are merging the two data frames to get our required result. So calculating the win and loss ratio. Before doing that, make sure that the types are float. Yeah, here we are creating another column. So actually while I was doing that, I forgot this. I didn't forget, but I just didn't put these braces around this because this division operator, it gets precedence but over this sum operator, but it makes changes, it brings changes to this one. So do not forget to put this around. All right, finally, again, make sure that the value that you're passing here is numeric and also it is a list. Okay, so here we go, and this one is forcing them. And finally, we are returning the last value. I hit Control Enter to run it, and we get just to run it again. We get a little warning because of this group by thing, and we get 15% correlation. Actually, this one is having a positive correlation between the population. So it means that as much the population goes high, the win and loss ratio goes high. So let's copy paste this one into question 3 of this Coursera platform. Assets, was it assets or asset? Let's run it, no worries. Yeah, 15%. Let's submit and wait for the real moment. What do you think, guys? Do we get 60 or not? Here we got 40 in the last question, and let's see. Yes, congratulations, we got 60 out of 100. You may see here that it is written here passed 80 out of 100. This is because when I did all the questions, not all the questions but 4 questions, I submitted and I passed. As soon as you pass this assignment, if you go back and remove all your answer and submit it, even if you get 0 here, but still it says pass, because once you pass, that's it. Okay, so the last question that I'm gonna solve in this video is question number 4. Everything is similar with very slight changes. It is about NFL data. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first step, alright, I'm gonna, yeah. Here it has additional steps that the previous 3 questions didn't have, like this one. So this is repeated, this is step number 2. Step 2, 3 and 4, they're all the same. First one, remove the star, the second one, remove the plus, and the last one, remove the square brackets. So this list comprehension in the ternary operator is very handy. See, it checks, first of all, it checks if the square bracket is in the team or not. If it was in the team, it will grab everything before the square bracket. If it didn't have the square bracket in them, it will return the team itself. That easy. So here we're discarding some unwanted columns, and there are some manual stuff. Again, I didn't think about finding a solution to do that automatically, so I do it manually here. Alright, changing the data type just in case, and grouping. Alright, and finally we are passing the numeric values. Again, make sure that this value that you're passing is a numeric and also list of numbers. Okay, I'm forcing this to change it to numeric, and yeah, so let's see. Let's run this function, see what we get. Still we get that warning, which is not that important. We're getting 0.0049, which is very small number. It is like 0.04% correlation. Okay, so let's copy this and paste it in the Coursera platform. Yeah, it was question 4. Paste everything, change the file address, assets, run it. Did we? Okay, succeeded. Let's go back. Here we go. We got 80 out of 100 already. So this is the second time that I submitted. So if you get 80, you pass it, you pass this assignment. And for this video, it has been too long to do this question for 5 as well. I'll do that in the next video. So thanks everyone for watching this. If it was helpful, you can press like button and comment if you're proposing any solution for this manual stuff, or if there were any steps here, if you can do that easily or in a simple way, you can also comment that. And that's it for this video. Thanks everyone.